Ursula von der Leyen is pulling out all the stops to make sure that Ukraine continues to remain in battle with Russia. If one remembers, back in April, the European Union started preparations for a Solidarity Trust Fund for Ukraine. The goal of the fund was to assist Ukraine with its financial requirements as well as its restoration efforts. The G7 nations overwhelmingly supported the idea, but several member states of the EU were enraged by it. Though the plan is still in place, one member state has publicly rejected the EU's new initiative to assist Ukraine, while a second is entering hot water. The desire of Ukraine to continue surviving at the behest of the EU may run into a fresh blockade. Hello and welcome to TFIGlobal, the foreign affairs and geopolitical analysis arm of TFI Media Group. I'm your host Manu. Let's begin. According to media reports, Hungary has announced that Budapest won't back European Union efforts to aid Ukraine with jointly raised funds. Foreign Minister Peter Szijjártó has announced as the EU continues to stay at loggerheads with Hungary. According to Szijjártó, Hungary has done enough to support Kiev on a bilateral basis and will continue to do so. But Budapest opposes any arrangements involving co-financing with other EU member states.
After staying 7 days in YT jail, we are back. We don't know if they'll allow us to stay peacefully. We don't know when the next ban will be announced. And that's why you must download the TFI app. Apple users can simply go to the App Store, search for TFIGlobal and install the app. And since Google Play has banned us, Android users can download the app from the link in the description. We are in for a long haul, and only your support can help us fight this war.
Reportedly, the EU had proposed a new 18 billion euros aid package for Ukraine for 2023. The plan was poised to use the EU's budget as a guarantee to raise the funds for Kiev, a step that involves changes to the bloc's rules that require the unanimous backing of its 27 member states. However, Hungary has single-handedly crushed the EU's ambition. On the question why Hungary is against helping Ukraine with a joint fund, Peter Szijjártó said, "We have done it once. We supported joint borrowing during the coronavirus pandemic, and that was more than enough." Hungary had previously supported the EU's decision to jointly raise debt to finance the bloc's recovery from the COVID-19 pandemic, but has yet to receive its share of funds. This is why Hungary is pessimistic about falling into the EU's trap again. Even though Hungary has always opposed EU's involvement in the war in Ukraine, and Russian President Vladimir Putin and Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban are regarded as close friends, Hungary has eventually opted to help Ukraine on several occasions. But without the backing of Hungary, a proposed 18 billion euros aid package for Ukraine would fail to take shape. Additionally, it appears that even Italy might reject the EU's new proposal to assist Ukraine, as Italians are protesting against aiding Ukraine. Last week, tens of thousands of Italians marched through Rome, demanding an end to arms shipment to Ukraine and a ceasefire. Furthermore, Italy's new Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni is also expected to succumb to the rising pressure as her own conservative allies are against helping Ukraine. She has definitely chastised Russian aggression in Ukraine, but has she always been anti-Russia? Absolutely not. Meloni was one of the few Italian politicians to congratulate Russian President Vladimir Putin on his re-election in 2018. Furthermore, she has openly lambasted Ursula von der Leyen and the EU for their failure to curb illegal migration. One could easily understand that she is emphasizing a more pragmatic approach toward the EU. Now, given the rising anti-Ukraine attitude in Italy, Meloni would get a perfect excuse to move away from Brussels' collective effort in Ukraine. The denial of Rome and Budapest could only be the beginning. Structuring an 18 billion euros fund would be an extremely difficult task for member states in a strife with Brussels. Zelensky wanted the European Union to cough up $5 billion every month, and this new EU fund was exactly the start of it. However, with Hungary's denial and Italy's shifting momentum, Zelensky's dream to keep Ukraine afloat is again up against the wall.